We continue now at the top of Daf Yudalid Amud Aleph in Meseches Sotah. This is Sotah Daf 14a. The Gemara continues. Gistra shel Beis Peor. The Roman Empire, they sent a message to the ruler of the area of Beis Peor. Heranu, show us Heichon Moshe cover. Where is Moshe Rabbeinu buried? Amdu lamala, so they stood up above. Nidma lahem lamata, and then it appeared as though he was buried below. Lamata, when they stood below, nidma lahem lamala, it appeared as though he was buried above. Nechleku shtei kitos, if they divided up into two groups. Osan sha'omdim lamala, those that stood above. Nidma lahen lamata, it appeared that he was buried below. Lamata, those that stood below. Nidma lahen lamala, it appeared as if he was buried above. Lakayim ashenemar, and this fulfills what it said in the pasuk, and this is the pasuk that was being discussed on the previous Amud. Below Yada Ishas Kvura, so that nobody knew where his burial place was. And the Gemara continues, Rabbi Chama Rabbi Chanino, Amar Rabbi Chama Rabbi Chanino says, Af Moshe Rabbeinu Einu Yodeya Heichon Cover. Even Moshe Rabbeinu did not know where he himself was buried. Ksiv Hacha V'lo Yada Ishas Kvura, so it says over here, uses the word Ish, that an Ish did not know where he was buried, no man knew where he was buried. Well, Ksiv Hasam, and it says over there in reference to Moshe Rabbeinu, Bezos habrocha asher berach Moshe Ish Elokim. It calls Moshe Rabbeinu Ish, and therefore we can understand that even Moshe Rabbeinu did not know where he himself was buried. And the Gemara continues. V'amar Rabbi Chama Rabbi Chanina, and Rabbi Chama Rabbi Chanina said, "Mevnei man nikvar Moshe etzel Beis Peor." Why was Moshe buried by Beis Peor? Kedei lachaper al ma'isa Peor. That was in order to be an atonement for the incident that happened in Peor, that has to do with the worship of the idol of the Baal Peor, and also these nus with the Benos Moav. And the Gemara continues, V'yom Rabbi Chama Rabbi Chanina, and Rabbi Chama Rabbi Chanina said, Ma'id dichsiv, what does it mean when it's written in the pasuk? Acharei Hashem Elokeichem teilechu. It says you have to follow after Hashem. So the Gemara asks, V'chi efshar lo adam l'halech achar shchina. Is it possible for a person to follow the shchina? V'alo kvar nemer, doesn't the pasuk already say, Ki Hashem Elokecha eish och lahu? It says that God is an all-consuming fire. Rather, what does it mean? Rather, what it means is a person needs to follow the attributes of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Mahu malbish harumim, just like HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he clothes those who don't have clothing. Techsiv, like the pasuk says, Vayas Hashem Elokim la'adam u'leishto. It says that Hashem made for Adam and his wife kasnos or be'albishim. He made them garments and he gave them clothing to wear. Af ataso, to you halbesh harumim, you should also clothe the naked. HaKadosh Baruch Hu bikar chol, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu visits the sick, Techsiv, like it's written, by Vayero love Hashem be'elone mamre, talking about the bikar cholim, by Avram Avinu, Afata bakar cholim, so too you should visit the sick. HaKadosh Baruch Hu nicham avelim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu comforts those who are mourning. Techsiv, like it's written, Vahi acharei mos Avram, Vayivarech Elokim es Yitzchak beno, it says after the death of Avram, so Hashem blessed Yitzchak his son, Afata nachem avelim, so too you should comfort the mourners. HaKadosh Baruch Hu kavar mesim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu buries the dead, Dechsiv, like it says, Vayikbar oso bagai, it talks about the burial of Moshe Rabbeinu, Afata kavar mesim, so too you should bury the dead. And the Gemara continues at the two dots, the pasuk said that the clothing that were given to Adam and Chava were kasnos or, and the Gemara says it's a machlokas amoraim. What is kasnos or? Rav u'Shmuel, it's a machlokas between Rav and Shmuel. Chad Amar one says davar haba minho or, it means something that comes from the or. Rashi says that refers to wool, it comes by the wool grows by the skin of the sheep. The Chad Amar one says davar sha'or nene mimenu, it means a material that a person's skin derives benefit from, meaning it's a comfortable material, and Rashi says that refers to linen. And the Gemara continues, Darsh Rav Simloi Darshans. Torah Tchilasa Gemilas Chasadim, V'sofa Gemilas Chasadim. The Torah begins with Chesed, and it ends with Chesed. Tchilasa Gemilas Chasadim D'chsiv. The beginning is Chesed, like it's written, Vayas Hashem Elokim L'Adam L'ishto Kasnos or V'yalbishem. It says that Hashem gave Adam and his wife clothing. V'sofa Gemilas Chasadim. In the end of the Torah is Chesed D'chsiv, like it says, Vayikbar oso bagai. It says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu took care of the burial of Moshe Rabbeinu. And the Gemara continues, Darash Rabbi Simloi, Rav Simloi Darshans, Mipnei man nisav Moshe Rabbeinu likonis l'Eretz Yisrael. Why was it that Moshe Rabbeinu desired to enter into Eretz Yisrael? V'chi lechol mipir yehutzarech, ol isba mituva hutzarech. Did he want to eat its fruits? Did he want to be satiated from its goodness? Elakach amar Moshe. Rather, Moshe said as follows: Harbe mitzvahs nitzdav Yisrael vein miskayim ela b'Eretz Yisrael. There are many mitzvahs that Klal Yisrael is commanded, and they're only fulfilled. They're only able to be fulfilled in Eretz Yisrael. I will enter Eretz Yisrael. I want to enter Eretz Yisrael in order to fulfill all of the mitzvahs al yadi, in order that I should be able to fulfill all of the mitzvahs. Amar lo HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to him, Klum atam mevakesh el lekabel schar, mala ani alecha kilu asisam. The only reason you want it is to receive the reward for these mitzvahs. I will consider it as if you did the mitzvahs. Shenemar, and the Gemara says like it says in the pasuk, and this is a pasuk from Yeshayahu, L'chein achalik lo berabim v'satzum me'echolik shalo. Therefore, I'm going to give him a portion of the great ones and a portion of the strong ones. Tachas asher herel amavis nafsho, because he gave himself over to death. V'as poshim nimna, he counted himself among the poshim, among the sinners. V'hu chet rabim nasan, he carried the sins of the many. V'la poshim yafki, and he davened on behalf of those who sinned. And the Gemara now explains each part of the pasuk. L'chein achalik lo berabim. It says, I'm going to give him a portion among the great ones. Yachol ka'achronim v'lo karishonim. I might think like the later great ones, not like the earlier great ones. Talmud lomer. That's why the pasuk goes on to say, v'yasatzum me'echolik shalol. He's going to get a portion like the strong ones, meaning Moshe Rabbeinu receives that portion of Ka'avram, Yitzchak v'Yakov. He receives a portion like Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Shehein atzumim b'Torah v'mitzvahs. They were strong in Torah and mitzvahs. And what does it mean? Tachas asher herel amavis nafsho, because he gave himself over for death. It means to say shemosar atzmo lemisa. He gave himself over for death. Shenemar, like the pasuk says, v'yamayin, and if not, mecheni no v'gomer. When he was davening on behalf of Klal Yisrael, he said, erase me from this book. V'yas poshem nimna, and then it says he's counted. Moshe's counted among the sinners. Shenimna meisei midbar, means to say that he's counted among those who died in the wilderness. He died as well in the wilderness. V'hu chet rabim nasan. What does it mean? He carried the sin of the many. Shekiper al maisei egel. It means that he brought an atonement for the sin of the egel. V'laposhem yafgia. What does it mean? V'laposhem yafgia. Shabikesh rachamim, that he davened, he asked for mercy. Al poshe Yisrael, on the sinners of Israel. Sheyachzru b'tshuva, that they should return, they should do teshuva. V'ein pegia el tefillah, and the word pegia refers to tefillah, to davening. Shenemar, like it says, v'atal tispalel bi'adam azeh, v'al tisa b'adam rino tefillah v'al tifka bi. The pasuk is talking about davening, talking about prayer, and it says al tifka bi. It uses this language of pegia. Hadron Allah hamakani leishto. We will return to you. Perak hamakani leishto. This is the end of the first parak of Meseches Sotah. If you're enjoying these videos and this channel, please like, share, and subscribe. And please take a look at the description box below to see how you can support this channel. And we will now begin the second parak of Meseches Sotah. And the Mishnah continues the procedure of the Sotah. Hayamevias minchasav v'soch kefifa mitzvahs. He brought her carbon mincha in a wicker basket, an Egyptian wicker basket. V'nos nal yadeh. He put it on her hands kedei liyaga, in order to tire her out, as we said, in order to get her to admit, so that she wouldn't drink from the waters. And the Mishnah says, Kol menachos tchilosan v'sofan b'chli sharis. All carbon minchas, they begin and they end. They start off and they end in a kli sharis. V'zu, but this one, tchilasa b'kfifa mistress. It starts off in this Egyptian wicker basket, v'sofa b'chli sharis, but in the end, it's put into a kli sharis. Kol menachos, all carbon minchas, tu'unos shemen u'lavona. They require oil and frankincense. V'zu eina tu'uno lo shemen v'lo lavona. This one does not require oil, and it does not require frankincense. Kol menachos bos min achit, and all carbon minchas come from wheat. V'zu ba min ha'sa'orin, and this one comes from barley. Mincha sa'omer, when it comes to the carbon mincha by the omer, afal pisha ba min ha'sa'orin, even though it comes from the barley, he haisa ba gerish, v'zu ba kemach. It came from gerish. This comes from kemach. The kemach is an inferior kind of flour. Rabbi Gamliel says, Kashem shemaseh ma'aseh behema, just like her deeds were deeds that an animal would perform, kach karbona ma'achol behema, so to her carbon is made from animal food. And the Gemara says, Tanya, we learned in a Braisa, Abba Chanin Omer Mishum Rabbi Eliezer. Abba Chanin says, in the name of Rabbi Eliezer, Kedei liyaga, means to say, again, we do this in order to tire her out, Kedei shetachzor ba, so that she retracts and so that she admits. Im kacha chasa Torah al over ritzono, and if the Torah has mercy on people who transgress, because here really it's mercy on her that we're getting her not to drink the water so she won't be punished. Kal v'chomer al oser ritzono, kal v'chomer, the Torah will have mercy on people who do the mitzvahs. And the Gemara says, but how do we know that the reason why we're trying to get her to admit is a kind of mercy on her? Maybe it has nothing to do with that. Maybe it's in order that we don't erase the name of Hashem, so we're trying to prevent from having her drink the waters, also prevents us from erasing the name of Hashem in the waters. And to that the Gemara answers, Kasavar, no, he holds, and we will continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Yud Dalid Amud Beis.